Hello, everybody.
Hi.
How y'all doing today?
Cue the millennial pause.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm asking how you guys are doing when you're not in the room, but I hope you're doing great out there. Well, if you're joining us for the first time today, hi, I'm Em,
And I'm Tima, and welcome to Bed Buds.
where we fall down the internet and pop culture rabbit hole, go on a couple of nerdy deep dives and obsessions along the way, and explore the wildest stories from our friends and the internet. Yeah. We recorded this intro like 4 times.
Yeah, this is the fourth time.
We're a little bit of a mess today. I don't have contacts on me right now. And I took off my glasses because they were reflecting really badly in the ring light. So I can't see.
Wait, can you see my face? Okay.
You're a little blob. You're just a little
Like
blob.
a brown blob. Can you see my eyes?
I can see I see where your eyes are. Yeah. Like I
Can you see me blinking?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I can.
Great.
I just I'm looking out into what I see as the camera, but it's all just kind of a mess. And you take away one of my senses and I lose it.
Yeah, it's okay.
So, yeah.
And I heard that it's supposed to make your other senses stronger, but for you, I guess
It just makes me more anxious. I feel like a wreck. I'm like sweating. I'm just like giggling, like nervously giggling. I don't know. I would die in an apocalypse. Like, immediately.
I would too. Don't worry. No, I think you'd survive actually. You know a lot of things.
So the reason I say this is because I've had this conversation with people before. I'm like, I think I would survive an apocalypse. Like, I'm like, I think I've got like great survival instincts. I know a lot of like random things that I think can help me out in situations. Like, I'm pretty good at like diplomacy if that's needed.
Diplomacy.
Yeah. But then I think about the fact that I wear glasses. I don't see for free like some of you out here.
Okay, but have you ever watched The Walking Dead?
No.
Okay, well, there's this guy named Eugene, and he has terrible eyesight, probably worse than yours. And he's like this freaky genius who survives.
But how does he see?
Through his glasses.
Right, exactly. But what happens if he loses his glasses?
Yeah, it's happened.
That was a plot line? And what happened? That's like literally my worst fear.
No, I'm pretty sure his glasses got cracked.
And what
a couple times. I don't know. They just
did
magically
he just
got
get new
fixed.
ones?
Probably.
You have to get them like made though.
Yeah. I don't know. Don't ask me these questions.
Plot hole from a show I haven't seen. I'm like, bad decisions.
Again, like I might be completely lying. Maybe he didn't ever break his glasses. You just need to take really good care of them.
Okay.
Don't give them to the zombies. That's all.
Okay, sounds good. I'll try not to. Yeah. I'm so focused. If you're watching the video, I'm like so focused on Tima's face right now because anytime I look away from her, I'm like shocked by how little I see and I have to look back. I'm like really uncomfortable. But yeah, maybe I'll put them on later because I might not be able to take much more of this, but we'll see. Are you laughing at my pain?
No.
Are you judging the fact that I can't see?
I'm just looking at your eyes and realizing they're so pretty. Just like your natural eyes without the contacts or anything. Wow. Sparkling.
Bro, the way that you compliment and insult at the same time is wow.
Oh my God. Whatever. Think whatever you want of me.
Well, today we have some extra bonus content for you all. So last week we combined our regular kind of episode with a Love is Blind recap and just did a super mega episode. We definitely want to talk about Love is Blind again today, for sure, because the drama is bananas. But we're going to separate it into 2 episodes.
Yeah.
All right. Do we want to get into it?
Let's do it. I think I want you to go first this time.
Okay. Sounds good. I can't find my phone.
Oh, no.
All right. I've got a really fun one for our first story. So this is coming from r/advice on Reddit. And it's called, "My ex-wife is dating again, even though she's still in love with me. How do I show her that's a bad idea?" I'll try to condense this as much as possible. I was with my first wife, Amanda, for 8 years and have a beautiful daughter. Unfortunately, during our marriage, I fell in love with someone else. That woman ended up cheating on and leaving me. I tried to maintain a friendship with Amanda because even though I realized I didn't love her, she was still my friend. Anyway, I was talking to a mutual friend and she told me Amanda put herself out there and went on a date and has been talking to this guy. After we got off the phone, I called Amanda, but she didn't answer. So I texted her that we need to talk. Amanda eventually calls back and I ask her about our daughter. Our daughter had spent the weekend at my parents' house. She told me she will pick her up in the evening. I told her, this is a serious question. I asked, are you still in love with me? She said, unfortunately, with an attitude. I said, then why would you think it's a good idea to date right now? She got angry and said that is none of my business. I told her I'm coming to you as a friend. Dating while still in love with me is not going to help. She said her therapist said it's time for her to put herself out there. I told her that her therapist sounds like a horrible therapist. She told me to shut up. She said, do you know how much this impacted me? She said, I loved you and always tried to be a great wife for you, and that wasn't good enough. I interrupted her on the phone and just said, Amanda. I then told her that when Marie left, my second wife, and I couldn't even finish the sentence before she said, you're a fucking prick. She hung up and blocked me on Facebook. I don't know, I'm trying to look out for her because she's the mother of my child, but...
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, thoughts? What do we think about this sweet and caring guy?
Ew. First of all, you married a woman, you had a child with her, and then you fell in love with someone. Shut up. Shut up. That's enough.
No more talking.
That's all you get. No, you don't get to give her advice on how to move on.
Yes.
This is ridiculous. And honestly, I think it's controlling of him in a way. It's his way of still hanging on to her. Yeah. He doesn't want to admit it to himself, but he probably still has like lingering a connection at least to her, and he doesn't want to let go of her.
Or even if he doesn't have feelings for her, yeah, it's still controlling her. Like, well, she was my wife, so like I'm entitled somehow for some reason to have an opinion on her life moving forward. What'd you think about him bringing up his other wife? Talking about how I know how you feel because when Marie left,
he's this guy is just
yeah. He's a catch.
I have no words.
That's what you're gonna say, right? He's a catch.
He's such a catch.
He's such a catch.
I would marry him in an instant. Let me be his third wife, actually.
Dude,
should I hit him up?
Get it? I love him. Honestly, I'm in love.
Reddit who?
I'll read a couple of comments to you. I'll read a couple of OP's responses to comments because he was actually pretty active in the comments section.
Okay.
One thing he said was, I don't understand if it's my wording, but I genuinely care about her. I don't see how none of you can see that. You have to think. I knew her since I was in college. When you're around someone for a long time, you care about them. Telling her I was in love with someone else was the most difficult thing I ever did.
Shut up.
I can't convey that enough.
I hate it.
It was just so hard for him to leave his wife because he loved someone else. I don't understand what the problem is.
He must have been so sad telling her that.
Yeah.
It must have broken him completely.
Poor little guy.
No, baby. Shut up.
Yeah, it's rough. Someone says, so then a commenter says, 2 weeks ago, you were posting about wanting to date someone you recently met despite being in love with your ex who cheated on you. Stop being a hypocrite and stay in your lane.
Oh.
So that got me digging through his profile, and I found a post from 5 months ago on r/relationship advice.
Okay.
My 31 male, wife, 29 female, left me for another man. How do I move on after giving up everything for her? A week ago, my wife, Marie, told me she fell in love with another man. It was so unexpected, and I didn't see this coming. She was the person who taught me what it is like to be in love. I was married to a woman, Amanda, who I loved but wasn't in love with. I was with my ex-wife for 8 years. We got together when I was 20. We have a kid who's almost 5. When I met Marie, I was married and happy, and she had a fiance. Marie threw a wrench in that. We formed a connection I never thought possible. I could talk to Marie for hours all day. She was extremely beautiful, the best looking woman I'd ever been with. One of the hardest things to do was to tell Amanda I was in love with another woman. It crushed her. She refused to sign the divorce papers and demanded we go to therapy. Eventually she gave in, but that was so hard, seeing a woman I still care for be in so much pain. She doesn't talk to me unless it's about our kid, and that hurts. But I did all that for Marie. I even moved across country from Virginia to Seattle because Marie wanted to be on the West Coast. I don't get to see my little girl as much as I want because she's still in Virginia. Despite all that, she left. We had a great marriage, and I did so much to keep her happy, and it wasn't enough. No warning. Last week, I find out she's leaving. I'm depressed, and I've just been laying in bed. I don't know what to do.
Oh, I just want to hug him.
Dude, talk about delusional. Oh, my God.
Crazy.
He's so, like, up his own butt. Like, just talking about how, like, I did everything for Marie. She threw a wrench in all of our plans. She threw a wrench in my marriage. I moved across the country for her. I don't see my child as much because of her.
Like, bro, you left your child.
You literally...
You left her.
How... I'm so sorry. Again, I say it every week, like, I'm not a parent. So maybe there's parents out here doing this and it's fine. But how are you moving across the country from your child? Like, you can't have a long distance relationship with your kid.
And just because your partner wanted to move to the West Coast.
Yeah, exactly. For like a frivolous thing. Like,
yeah.
if it were something that you can't control, like, you know, that happens all the time, right?
Yeah.
There are definitely parents who live in other countries from their kids for reasons outside of their control.
Yes.
But like, just because like your partner wants to live on the West Coast and you're like, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
I won't see my daughter as much, but like, okay. My daughter who's 5.
5 years old, and then blame it on her.
Yeah.
For taking him away from... Like, he made all of his decisions, and you reap what you sow. You know, you left a woman for another woman.
Yeah.
While you were still in that relationship. And it came back to you.
Bananas.
Yeah.
Well, there's another post from him. Again, I scrolled through all of his stuff. Mm-hmm. So the one I just read was from 5 months ago. Mm-hmm. This update came a couple months after that. Mm-hmm. So update. I'm finally starting to heal. I probably won't date for a long time, but I'm starting to hang out with my friends more. I was very depressed for a month and still am. I've tried to rekindle my friendship with Amanda, but she's not interested. She told me she loves me even after everything, and she wishes she didn't. That hurt. She told me how I feel about Marie is how she felt when I left her. I reassured her that it wasn't her, it was me, and that Marie brought out something I had never felt before.
Oh my God, shut up.
I told her she was a great wife, and she will find someone who loves her the way I loved Marie.
Bro.
Isn't that bonkers to say to your ex who you left?
Like, what is going on in his mind for him to say these kind of things to her?
Dude.
I'm genuinely, like, he has no concept of reality at this point.
No, absolutely not. He fully has, it's like main character syndrome, like to the nth degree, in the sense of like, it's his world and everyone is living in it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I fell in love with Marie. Okay, bye. Like, oh, he has no concept of what his words do to other people. Like, what they might be feeling.
Yeah.
Beyond, like, oh, it hurt me.
That I hurt her. Yeah. Ew.
So wild. And then he has another post. This is his most recent post that initial commenter was responding to.
Okay.
So he said, this was, I think, a month ago. Mm-hmm. How long after a divorce to start dating again? I'm going through a really bad divorce with my wife where she cheated on me. And I plan to stay single for a while. The thing is, I'm starting to develop a crush on this person I go bowling with. I've been depressed and started doing activities to keep myself busy. It is the first time I started having feelings for someone else. What's holding me back is I still love my ex. I got a new job and will be moving soon. Well. Isn't it funny?
How the turntables.
Isn't that bonkers how he's up here posting about how he wants to go on a date with someone but still loves his ex, but has the audacity to call his other ex to tell her that she shouldn't date anyone because she still loves him.
Okay, so to me, he just lacks empathy.
Yeah.
He completely lacks empathy.
Absolutely.
He doesn't care about his kid, doesn't care about his first ex.
Yeah.
And maybe the only thing that he actually does care about is Marie, which is really unfortunate for him because
sucks to suck. The only one he cared about left him.
Yeah.
That's rough, buddy. I'm so sorry to say that I don't feel bad.
Yeah, not 1 ounce of sadness for you.
Dude,
you deserve that.
Anyone who is bringing up his ex to his other ex that he left for her,
who still has feelings for him?
No, literally no. What is wrong with you? So crazy. And all of his responses to people are like, talking about like how could you say, like, everyone is here saying I don't care about my kid. I care about my kid so much. Or like, I care about Amanda so much. I'm just coming from like a place of trying to help her. Like, dude, shut up. Like, maybe, you know what? Maybe he thinks he is trying to help her. Like, maybe he genuinely thinks that. But I think that he needs therapy or like a really good friend who will set him straight, or people on Reddit, so that he can like break out of his own mind.
Yeah.
And realize that like just because he thinks that he cares doesn't mean he's actually acting out of like true care.
Exactly. Like, he needs a wake-up call, but
yeah,
it seems like to me he's not getting it. You know, multiple people are telling him the same thing and he's not receiving that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, at one point he says, I still disagree with her dating, but I see the consensus is that I apologize, so that's what I'll do. So like,
but he doesn't even know why he's apologizing.
Yeah.
He's just apologizing to like move on and like,
yeah. Poor Amanda. She's blocked him on everything at this point. She's gonna have to keep talking to him because it's her kid. It's his kid.
That's the hardest thing.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that would make it so much harder to move on from someone who did you dirty like that when you have a child attached to them, because you can't fully block them. Like, they are a part of your life forever. So that makes it so incredibly hard. And I don't know. I wish the best for her. I hope she finds an amazing guy, and I hope she falls head over heels in love more than she ever loved this guy.
Also, shady mutual friend telling him that she went on a date with someone.
Yeah, like, why is it their business?
No, I don't know why people are getting involved like that. Listen, we're going to talk about Love is Blind. Although, actually, when this comes out, the Love is Blind one will have already come out.
Yeah.
But I feel similarly about a certain Jeremy getting all up in other people's relationships. Being like, hey, have you heard about that? Hey, I think she's going on just shut up.
Yeah.
Like, get out. I too love drama. That's why we are on here on this podcast. But like, drama that is completely removed from myself, my life, my friends, you know?
Like, drama about people around you is not it.
No, and not drama that I'm participating in.
Right. Yeah. Awful. Okay, but we'll get into more of that.
Yeah.
The other episode.
Yeah. If you haven't checked that out yet, please do, because it's going to be, well, I guess I don't know if it's a lot of fun yet, but like,
it will be. No, it will be. Oh my God.
I don't know what
do you not believe
tense to use right now. I'm like, I guess it was, is, will be, were.
Ew, that was such a gross laugh.
Be your true self. Let it out. All right, okay. I think it's your turn.
Okay. All right, so this last...
We're done. Episode's over.
This next one is from Reddit, and it's from r/chew off my chest.
Ooh. Okay.
I broke my wife, and I don't think it's fixable.
Okay, sorry, not that I broke my wife.
Just wait.
Okay.
This happened 6 months ago, and I only chose to talk now because I don't see improvement in sight, and I am hopeless. We were at a party. My friend is single, and we started talking about love and relationships. My wife and I have been happily married for 7 years. We have 3 beautiful children. She's the love of my life. When I was talking to my friend, I felt like we were on different levels of thinking. His complaints were mostly superficial about how the people he dated looked. I was a bit drunk at that point and said something like, "You don't fall in love with looks. Look at me and my wife. I love her more than anything compared to my ex, who is just looks." Everyone went silent, and my damage control was worse, so I ended up shutting the hell up. I couldn't get my point across, but even I thought that maybe these thoughts had been in my head but only came out when I was drunk. My wife was shocked. First week, she was so angry and wanted to understand what I meant, and nothing I said was good enough. I was drunk. I love her. I think she's the most beautiful woman. She thought being drunk made me say my true feelings. Then one morning, she just said, "You know, I have never felt as ugly as I have felt this past week. I have always thought I am beautiful." She didn't cry this time, but she hasn't been happy since. I started crying and apologizing, but she was like emotionless. It was the last time she looked at me too. She is taciturn and distant, but only with me. She has lost 20 pounds and she works out 6 to 7 days a week. She never has free time with me. If she's not with the children or her family and friends, she's immersed in some book or has her headphones on. She's always fully clothed now, even in bed. She locks the bathroom door when she takes a shower. She's more active on social media too. She shares many pictures of her, and she thanks everyone who gives her a compliment. Before, it was just pictures with our children and pets, but now it's her, working out in sports bras and tights. I broke her, and I don't know how to fix it.
Okay, I don't think I have the same opinion as you. Probably. Just right off the bat, actually.
Okay, let's hear it.
Do you want to go first?
I want to hear your thoughts first.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I don't think he should have ever said that at all. Like, I think, obviously, that's just even if it's the truth, I think that's just like, what a way to put your foot in your mouth, right? I can also absolutely see that would affect her. 100%. That would absolutely affect her. But I think for it to affect her to this extent, if it's otherwise been a loving relationship, like she said, I've always thought I was beautiful. Like I've never had, this just came up one time when he was drunk. Like I think I can even understand like a week of her being like needing some time, like feeling kind of, messed up about it. But she talked to him. He apologized. He said, "I think you're beautiful." Like it was a slip of the tongue, whatever. I don't know. Like, I feel like at that point, there's something else going on.
Okay, so
Okay.
Someone did some digging and went through the comments and basically brought up what he actually said. So the version that I just read was him telling the story, but in the comments, he clarified what he actually said.
Oh, gosh. Okay, this is what I'm saying, because I was like, I feel like that wasn't that bad.
Okay. First of all, I'm going to read what one of the commenters who brought it up said. Okay. "Holy hell, the original poster keeps editing his post so people would side with him. But his actual words were this and not the sanitized version in the edit above." I'm going to read it right now.
Oh my gosh.
Quote, "I was only telling my friend that if he stopped looking for truly good-looking women, then he might find happiness with a 6 like mine." End quote.
Bro. Okay, you set me up with that one.
I did, but I also set myself up because I had the same opinion that you did.
Okay.
Before I read that.
Right, because I was like, girl, like that's too much.
Yeah.
Like that is way too much.
Yeah. Like I was like, I understand that you're affected by it and it's okay to be affected by it. But he apologized. He said that you're the most beautiful woman in the world to him, all of the stuff. And he's genuinely sorry, blah, blah, blah. I was like, you should just, there might be something else going on or you should kind of just move forward with it. But then.
Bro, a 6? You can't take that back. You can't take that back. That's like, that's not a drunken moment. That's like, I've thought about this. First of all, it tells me that you're still a man who rates women by their looks. Like, that is something you should have left behind in high school, period. Like, I don't even think you should have been doing it ever.
Yeah.
But that already is icky to me.
Yeah.
Then you think your wife is a 6. Also, if you're saying your wife is a 6, that means that you think your wife is actually a 4.
Yeah, this isn't just a... Oh. Yes.
Just saying.
Oh my God, I didn't even think of that. Yeah. You're so right. Like
Like, you're not attracted to her.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
You married her because you like her personality or whatever, but you're not attracted to her.
Yeah.
And he said this in front of their whole friend group.
Yeah.
Which makes it even more disgusting.
That's literally so gross.
Like, she was humiliated, I'm sure.
Bro, stop looking for truly good-looking women. Yeah, that's very different from saying personality matters more than looks.
Oh my God. Like,
Yo,
the sanitized version of it, I was like, okay, that's bad, but you know, if that was said about me, I could possibly move forward with it. If, my husband was,
I would too. I think.
Right? Yeah. But like, what he actually said, no.
How do you? Okay, the thing is, like, I don't even know what I would do in her position because I'm someone who likes to like really like weigh things and sit with them before I act, right? So like I feel like I can initially be a fairly reactive person and like hear something, receive it, and like immediately have a strong opinion. But I've tried to move away from that because I know that like in the moment I feel something bigger than it actually is. Then once I've sat with it and had perspective, I'm like, okay, like that's, you know what, it wasn't that big of a deal. Like now I can act on it better. So I feel like the offense is so bad, but they're married. They're not dating. They have a kid. And I feel like when she sits with it and breaks it down, like, what does she do with that information at that point? Like, how are you going to be like, I would not be able to process, like, I no longer feel love for this person. Like, that immediately icked me out and ruined everything and made me see who he was. But how do I, like, divorce him or whatever, knowing that the root cause of that was just like a comment about my appearance? Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I'd have such a hard time like connecting all of that. Like, okay, well, he was drunk, like he does love me, but it was so icky.
That's so true. And okay, the part where you said that you're initially a reactive person, but you like to sit on it now and react later, that's something I'm trying to adopt because I've noticed that about myself. And I think it might be a part of my anxious attachment style or something like that. But whenever I hear something even slightly offensive, like even if that's not how it was intended, I will immediately like react. Yeah. You know, I'll be like, oh, like I'm done, blah, blah, blah. When in reality, people make mistakes. Yeah. People say things.
And you do too.
I do too. Yeah. Exactly. I do too. And no relationship is perfect for a reason. Like, we're all flawed human beings. And yes, there are some things that are deal breakers for me that I will never, like, I will never stick with. But then there's other things that might be hard for me to deal with. But, like, I have to sit with it and not react immediately. So that's cool that you found a way to do that. I just wanted to commend you. Well, the fact that you're working on it. Thank you. I want to commend you for that because I think you've said it another time before. Like, you've given me some instances where you've like sat on it and I'm like, wow, that's actually admirable because I'm still struggling with that. But with this situation, I think I would, first of all, me being the way I am, I would immediately be like, frick you, you know,
it's over.
I'm done. But even if I sat with it, I think it would get worse. Worse because I would start thinking about, oh, like during all of these moments, these intimate moments that we had throughout our marriage, he was never fully attracted to me, just my personality, but he wasn't attracted to my looks. Yeah. You know? And in his mind, I was always like a 6 or a 4. Yeah. Right?
Yeah, I think that the main thing here is like, it's not even the fact that he commented on her looks or even the fact that he's not like incredibly attracted to her, because not everyone, you know, ends up with the person who's most attractive to them. Like, you know, it would be a lie to be like, oh, my partner is like, you know, always 100% like the most beautiful person, period. But like, they should be the most beautiful person to you. Yeah. So it's like less about the fact that he like commented on ever having had an opinion on her looks, and more like the way he said it, the context that he said it in, and like what that says about him. Yes. Because also I think it would have been different even if, okay, he should have never said the 6 thing, but even if he said that, like it would have been more forgivable if he'd said something like, you know, initially when I met my wife, she was not my type. Like, I would have thought she was like a 6. But after getting to know her more, like, she grew on me so much. And now I think she's, like, gorgeous.
Oof,
Still not ideal. Still not ideal.
But better.
But better because it, like, there's at least, like, a progression.
Right.
Of, like, now I think she's beautiful.
Right.
But it was just like, yo, my wife's a 6.
Period.
Like, don't waste your time looking for, like, good-looking people. Listen, my wife's a 6, and it's fine.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Dang. This is so hard because she has a kid. They have a kid together. And they've been married, and, you know, he might actually, like, love her and all of that stuff. God, if I was in this, I don't know. Oh, first of all...
We're both making, like, kombucha girl face here, like...
I don't think I would end up marrying someone who thought of me like that. Like, I require a lot of reassurance in my relationship prior to any kind of, like, serious commitment.
Maybe he was reassuring, though.
Possibly,
That's the thing. Maybe he, like, was, like, maybe this was also super, like, quote, like, out of character for him in terms of, like, what she's seen from him. Like, maybe it actually is his true character, right? But, because just the way she said, like, again, we're getting his version of things. But the way she said, like, I've always thought I was beautiful. Like, I've always... Yeah. It's not coming across to me as he, like, regularly puts her down or makes her not feel beautiful. Right. So, who knows? Maybe he does, like, call her beautiful and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. Which then, again, putting myself in her shoes, I'm like, how do you even reconcile those two things? Of, like,
that's what I'm saying. It's a contradiction. It's a huge contradiction, and he's lying.
Yeah, right. So
one way or another. So that shows me a bigger issue.
Yeah. It also, I'm side-eyeing him also for the way that he was even editing the Reddit post. Like, that, to me, is wild. Like, if you're gonna say something, own it. Especially, you said it on the internet. Like, you wrote this out, so you had at least 15 minutes or however long it took you to write it out to think. Yeah. Right? It's not like you were drunk while you were writing it. Right. You wrote it, you didn't like the heat we were getting, and you changed it so that people would like you more?
Exactly.
And tell you what you wanted to hear?
Exactly. Like, and you think no one would catch that? It's the internet.
It's the internet. Come on. It's there. You know, and
someone will get it.
It's anonymous. Like, why are you trying to, like, you care so much more about, like, them validating you as the good guy?
Right. Like, if you're anonymous, exactly, you're so right. Yeah. Just say it, put it out there, and get an honest opinion. Exactly. Because the honest opinion would have been like, wow, yeah, that was horrible. Yes.
Which I will say, like, that I always have, respect is a strong word, but I was going to say admire, also a strong word. I feel generally positive opinions about.
Generally positive.
People who go on Reddit and they say a story in which they absolutely messed up. Like, just, oh gosh, I'm like, that was really bad. Yeah. Like, are you the devil? Maybe. And then the comments, like, roast them. And then they're like, not like the first story we read where they were like, well, I still don't see what I was wrong, but I'll apologize. Yeah. There's people who will say, like, wow, thank you guys so much. Right. You've completely opened my eyes. I realized what I did. Like, I am, like, terrible. I'm going to go into therapy. Like, I'm going to apologize. I'm going to, like, you know, do all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, good. That's what this is for. Yeah. You came here for an opinion. You got it. And now you're going to, like, actually make change. Like, I have hope for you.
Exactly. Like, I love that. Again, respect is a strong word. Yeah. No, but it is respectable. It is respectable for someone, no matter how wrong they were, to see that they were wrong and decide to make changes. Yeah. To become a better person. I think that is respectable. But why come on the internet just for validation when you know...
Ain't that the question? Ain't that the question?
Facts. That is the question of the century.
Why come on the internet just for validation? Yeah, we're all trying to figure that
Many
out.
Forms of this, but yeah. God, yeah. What would you do? Honestly, what would you do?
I don't know.
Because I don't think I could I think my ego is a little too big for me to stay in a relationship like that. Honestly, I think I would leave.
I wouldn't judge her either way. Honestly,
yeah, whatever she chooses to do.
I don't have the context of their relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I think just knowing myself, maybe I would actually stay, just because I feel like I would have a hard time if they'd always been a loving partner, if they'd always said all this stuff. Like, I think I would maybe just be able to chalk it up to like a drunken comment, and then I would keep my eyes peeled.
I see. Okay.
For other things.
Okay.
But if it got to the point where like it affected me so much mentally that again like my whole life, because we haven't addressed that, my whole lifestyle is changing now, like the things I post on Instagram, the way I'm eating, what I'm doing, like it becomes an obsession, then I need therapy, like I need another outlet, right? And then, you know, if that gets to the point where it's like this has consumed me so much that I literally can't look at you and love you anymore, absolutely, that's all the reason you need. I mean, drunken comment or not, like
she's checked out.
You gotta go.
It seems like in the beginning she was trying, but she couldn't get past it, and that's completely fair. I don't know, I wish the best for her. I think I don't think your soulmate hurts you in ways like this, honestly. Like, it's hard to believe that your soulmate would do that to you.
It's so tough.
If you believe in soulmates, I don't know.
It's so tough. Like, I mean, like, again, mess ups are a thing. Like, I do try to, like, give grace for, like, when people put their foot in their mouth. Like, you know, I've definitely made mistakes and, like, said things to people that I didn't mean. And, you know, luckily, like, still have relationships with those people. And then, you know, when people have done that to me, like, I try to do the same, like, within reasons, right? I think there are things, though, that you can't walk back from. And if it's the kind of thing that really showcases your character, like I think this might, then that's really hard to come back from, because you just gave them a window.
Well, I wish her the best of luck. At least she is taking care of herself and she's focusing in on herself. I know it's like in a different kind of way, but
unfortunate.
It does seem like she's closing in on herself and like focusing more on things to better herself apart from him. So maybe that's like her first step in moving away from him and distancing herself. I need her to get a therapist. I think that would be ideal, or just a good friend. Or Reddit.
Honestly. Ooh, I would love it if she had a post. That'd be so fun.
I know.
That happens sometimes where like someone will post something and then you'll find like a concurrent post from the opposite perspective. That's always so fun.
Oh, those are so cool. We need to find one of those.
I actually have one that I've been keeping in my folder for like a couple months now.
Okay.
The thing is, the back and forth is so long. I think the whole episode would just be that one
Okay, well,
story.
we're going to do that. Maybe,
You're like, I don't get to talk. I don't have to talk. No, but maybe at one point we'll read that one.
Okay.
It's a good one.
For sure. Do you have one for me?
I do have one for you, and it's not the long one.
Okay.
All right, so this next one is coming from r/am I wrong? And it's called, Am I Wrong for Refusing to Help My Friend and Using It as a Test? For the past 2 months, I, male, have been helping out a good friend, female, who's going through a divorce and is separated with an 8-year-old child. These favors usually include getting groceries for her, picking up her kid from school, babysitting while she works late, helping the kid do her homework, and other small things. She always gives me the money to cover these things, though I don't charge her for my time. I just want to be a good and helpful friend and was raised to be kind. At first, the favors were rare and reasonable. However, the past month, the favors have increased to nearly daily, and I feel like she's taking advantage of me right now. Reason is, she has asked me to run to the store for her for various items. When asked why she can't go herself, she always claims to be busy or not well. However, upon returning to her house, I often find her on the phone or generally relaxing. This has made me feel unmotivated to help if she is simply too lazy to do these things herself. 2 Sundays ago, around 7 p.m., I begin to wind down for the day as I have to get up early for work the next day. My friend calls me and asks if I could help her by running to get some groceries for her. She promises it'll be quick as she only needs 3 items. I tell her that I'd rather not since it's getting late, but she begs me and says she's not well but needs groceries for her daughter. I'm annoyed, but also am thinking about the kid, so I reluctantly agree. I go to the store, and as I'm shopping, she asks if I could get 2 more things while I'm there. Then she texts me back with more items. She does this 3 more times. I ask her how much more she is planning to add, and she reasons, "What's the big deal? You're already there." I pay and leave. On the way home, she asks if I could stop at the local burger spot and get her and her daughter some food. Again, I try to say no as it's nearly 8:30 p.m. and I was getting tired. But again, she begs, saying she didn't cook and doesn't want to start now. She says her daughter hasn't eaten in nearly 6 hours. Again, trying to be nice and thinking of the kid, I agree and wait through a 25-minute drive-through. I get the food and take everything to her. She thanks me but mentions I forgot to get ranch for their food. I argue that she didn't tell me to get ranch, but she counters and says, "You've known me for a long time. You know I always have ranch with my fries." I start to get angry now and say how she's taking advantage of me. She then fights back and says, "You don't agree to help someone and then start complaining about it." I leave and go home without saying another word to her. She doesn't attempt to stop me or talk to me. With all that said, this past week I decided to experiment with saying no to her. As predicted, she hit me up 5 to 6 times throughout the week asking for various favors. Each time I said no. When she asked why, I simply said I was too tired or not well. At first she accepted it, but last night when I said no to her request for grocery shopping, she flipped out. "Why are you making me beg you?" she asked. "You've had such a bad attitude this week. I really needed your help, but you want to be difficult and make me beg you." "Well, I just don't feel like helping. Is that so bad?" I ask. "I'm a single mom raising a child alone," she says. "I always tell you thank you and how much your help means to me." I explain that she has become lazy and complacent of me doing these favors, and it's starting to seriously weigh me down. She denies that she's asking for too much. Am I wrong for refusing to help my friend last week as a test to see how she reacts, or am I wrong for doing that? I don't have a girlfriend or kids of my own, so I can't imagine how busy or tired she is, but also feel she needs to shoulder a lot of these responsibilities herself rather than guilt-tripping me into doing it for her.
Oh, yeah, that's not okay on her part. She can't just expect him to help her whenever she needs it.
Yeah, don't love that.
Yeah.
I think you can definitely expect, I think you can even expect help from your good friends.
Of course.
That's not unreasonable to expect, but there's a difference between help and actively being responsible for the well-being of her child. At this point he's doing so much work.
He's taking care of the child for her.
Yeah,
essentially.
he's her assistant.
Exactly. And it's the demanding nature of it that really throws me off. If I was in need, I have friends that I fully rely on, right? And I know that they'll be there for me if I need them, but I'll never beg them for it. If they are busy with something and they're telling me hey, I really can't right now, but I'll help you as soon as I can. I'm not going to be no, you have to come right now. You have to come right now and help me.
No, that's bananas.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
What?
And not only the begging him to help her, but not being grateful and telling him he helped her in the wrong way.
Right.
"Oh, you didn't get ranch for my fries." Are you literally kidding?
Yeah.
That would have made me so mad.
That would have made me livid.
Yes.
He's doing all of this for you. He's going out of his way late at night to get all of this stuff for you and your daughter. And you have the nerve to pick on something like ranch. Get over yourself.
That's crazy. That's literally crazy.
Yeah.
And also, I just want to say, the daughter is 8. This isn't a baby. She could go to the drive-thru and leave the daughter at home for 20 minutes. She could take the daughter with her in the drive-thru. Again, this isn't a kid that you need to be putting in a car seat. It's a lot of work. You're going to mess with her nap time if you take her.
Right.
The kid's still awake. She's going to eat too.
Yeah.
So you could just put her in the car and say, "All right, babe, we're going to McDonald's to get food."
Yeah. Or take her to the grocery store.
Or whatever. Yeah. The kid can go with you. It's different. I could understand it more if she had a baby and she can't like afford childcare. She doesn't have a babysitter. And so she can't leave the kid at home.
It's different. It's different. But this is an 8-year-old. And also he mentioned that whenever he got to her with all his stuff, she would just be like chilling.
Yes.
Like, that's such a red flag.
That's so annoying. That would make me so mad. Like, if you're asking me to do all this for you over and over and over and over again, I expect I come home and you are like, I don't know, you're just really busy. Like you're in the throes of cooking. You've got like 5 pots on, you know, you're vacuuming on with one hand and mopping with the other. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Or even if it's like a baby again.
Yeah.
Like, right.
Yeah.
If it's a baby and you finally just put this baby down and you're getting some shut-eye, perfectly reasonable. But for you to you're
just like watching TV.
Like, what? With an 8-year-old? Come on.
He's so mad. Also, she's like totally guilt tripping him when she says, can you go to the drive-thru? It's late and my daughter hasn't eaten in 6 hours. Whose fault is that?
Why did you let her starve for 6 hours?
Whose fault is that?
What?
Like, there's food. There are options. There are options.
Many.
Is your fridge literally completely empty? There's nothing. There's no like baby carrots and apple.
Right.
A granola bar. Like, you don't have one item you could have given her. You were waiting for him to go get groceries for you.
That's so irresponsible as a parent.
Yes. That means that you built your entire schedule around him being able to go get groceries for you and get dinner for you.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't have anything prepared, any other plan, even a plan B.
Yeah.
Like, what if he can't do it?
But even then, like, okay, she waited for him, right? If that was within a reasonable amount of time, fine. If he didn't show up, then you'll have to make some other arrangements on the spot. That's on you. You waited 6 hours. That kid didn't eat for 6 hours.
Yes. And her texting him at 7 or 8 p.m. makes me so mad. Like, if, again, she needs the help, right? She knows she needs the help. Like, you know your fridge is empty and you're going to be really busy today.
Yeah.
And this is a really good friend you can count on.
Yeah.
You know, text him in the morning. Hey, I'm so sorry. I'm swamped. Do you think you could, like, help me out with this favor sometime today? Like, whenever is good for you. You're texting him at 8 p.m.? Oh, he's just supposed to get up and go? And that's something that I want to talk about for a second. Why is this man doing all this for her? What is this?
I don't know. Like, he seems like he's probably just trying to be a good friend. He's trying to be supportive to her.
Yeah, I agree. And I don't mean to say, like, why is he doing it for her? But more just, like, I think it's time for him to be introspective.
Right.
Because he's letting her walk on him.
But, I mean, he did make this post, so he does realize what's happening.
But why did it get this far? Of months of him doing all these chores for her every single week.
Yeah.
Like, the only reason that she's able to text him at 8 p.m., the only reason she's able to guilt trip him about her daughter is because she knows that she has him wrapped around her finger. Like,
so
she
true.
knows that.
Yeah.
I don't mean to, like, blame him, but I just, you know, need him to be more aware of that. Because that's, like, really sad for him.
Seems like he doesn't respect his own boundaries enough.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I also am just kind of looking at him a little sideways just because of the whole, like, test framing. I always will be weirded out by a test. If you yourself are calling it a test, like, that is something that I immediately have, like, yellow flags about, right?
Yeah.
Because you should be able to communicate and have a conversation without, like, staging a test.
I agree. I agree.
He should have just said, hey, I feel like you're taking advantage of me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to do all of these favors for you anymore. I'm happy to help you out for the next 2 weeks while you figure out your schedule, because I don't want to just go cold turkey on you. Like, maybe this will be an adjustment. And I'm happy to help you out every once in a while. You're really important to me, and so is your daughter.
Yeah.
But I can't keep doing this anymore. That's what needed to happen.
He should have done that. And it seems like he was trying to take the roundabout way. Maybe he kind of fears her in a way because of the way that she's reacted in the past, or in the past couple of months that he's helped her. maybe that's why he's kind of like going about it a different way, but he needs to be direct. And regardless of how she reacts, he needs to say, hey, these are my boundaries. You need to respect them. You need to figure it out now.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can only help someone that much for a certain amount of time. It can't be forever.
Yeah, I think she's like, just to be clear, I think she's definitely the problem here.
Yeah.
In the way that she's like doing things like as a parent.
Yeah.
Is not okay.
Yeah.
And as a friend, I mean, she's certainly not being a friend to him.
Yeah, I agree.
But I just like wish he would just communicate and just say that, you know? Because again, she's only able to like do all this for a reason. Like she grew in this. Before she was asking him less, and then it like slowly kept going, and then like the attitude changed. And yeah, like I think I don't know, he just needs to say something.
Yeah.
I do want to read a couple of comments though. So OP at one point mentions in the comments that she claims that grocery shopping has become an issue for her as she runs into too many people she knows. She worked as a teacher for a private school in the past 10 years, so she said she's gained a small following from her students' parents who often stop to talk to her while shopping. However, she claims that her pending divorce will damage her image as a teacher, which is why she asks me to go grocery shopping for her to avoid that even happening. I feel it's a bit silly.
That's not a good excuse.
Where do they live? I would love to know where they live, that like a woman getting divorced is like...
It's probably some small town in the South or something like that.
That makes me sad. That makes me kind of feel, if that's true, like if she's in like New York City or something, I'm like, girl, this is a crazy excuse. But it does make me feel like just the tiniest bit more empathy for her, because if that's really true, then I could see how the divorce would like make her feel like she can't go outside, A, but also B, damage her image of herself. Like if that's the kind of society that's surrounding her, damage her image of herself, of like, I'm not worth it. Like I'm not, you know, like a good enough woman or a good enough whatever it is that those narratives are.
I can understand that, but long term, what does she expect to get out of that, right?
No,
like,
absolutely.
It's been months. So at this point, she should have worked through that. If that is the issue, she should have worked through that and taken new steps to go forward with her life and provide for her child, you know, face whatever is to come. But she hasn't done that. And it's also the animosity that she shows towards him, who's doing everything for her. That just rubs me the wrong way. So I don't know. I think you have a responsibility. You have a daughter. Yeah. You're a grown up. You need to step it up.
Yeah, no, that's true. I think at the end of the day, like, you're so right. That's what it is. Yeah. Like, you're a grown up. Exactly. You have a child. Like, that period.
It's the hard
truth.
That's
your responsibility.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. A lot of comments also touch on, so someone says you are the friends without, So someone says you are the friend without benefits. Someone else says she's using you as a substitute husband. Kind of a lot of things like that. I thought that was interesting. What do you think?
Okay, so I kind of thought that in the beginning too. Like she just lost someone, so she's trying to replace that. But that's not sustainable. Yeah. Because he's obviously not that to her. Yeah. I can see why the comments would say that though. Yeah,
I guess I just thought it was interesting, like the overwhelming amount of those comments. I don't know if I'm like particularly sensitive to this kind of language, but I guess I resent the idea that like men and women can't be friends without like underlying tension or something. So like the whole thing of like you're the friend without benefits, like if they were two women, which women can love each other, spoiler alert, but like if they were two women, people would just be like, oh, she's a shitty friend.
I kind of took that as just a play on words. Okay. I don't know if I read into it like that.
I mean, a lot of people were saying like substitute husband, like specifically like that kind of thing.
But if it was two women, you wouldn't think that they would be saying like, oh, you're like a substitute wife. Or
like you just focus more on like the fact that like she's not being a good friend to OP, but
Yeah.
I feel like people are like, because she's a woman, he's a man, like everyone's focusing on the fact that like, oh, why are you doing all this for her? Like, you're not married. Like, oh, you're not even getting anything out of this. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Which is,
I
I don't
see what
know.
you're
I
saying.
guess that kind of like rubbed me a little bit the wrong way.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
slight bone to pick with the comment section.
Okay, I can see that. I can see where you're coming from, and yeah, that's not.
Yeah, I don't know. I was like, if he were friends with benefits for her, like I still feel like she's still taking advantage of him.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I don't know. Like I was like, I don't see what that has to do with anything.
Right. Like he's just a friend. He's a friend that is trying to help and
that she's taking advantage of.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like so many were just focused on like, oh, you're not her husband. I was like, okay.
I see what you mean.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's that story.
And he didn't update anything? He didn't.
No, there's no updates, unfortunately.
Okay, well, I hope he read all the comments and kind of realizes that he needs to set his boundaries and leave that situation.
Yeah, I guess I wish more people had focused on like the boundary setting that we talked about, because everyone was, and this is something that happens a lot in Reddit comment sections, like people focus a lot on like what the other person did wrong, and I do think that like she's the major problem here,
right?
But I do like wish that there was a little bit of that like constructive, like hey, you know, so glad that you're like getting out of this you know situation, but like try like communicating this way, you know.
Okay. Yeah,
because I feel like that would have been very helpful for him. I don't know, maybe I'll comment.
Yeah, I think you should.
Yeah, no, not
maybe
me.
I will too.
I don't want everyone to know my personal Reddit account.
Do it anonymously.
Anonymous. I'll make another throwaway.
Yeah,
account.
exactly.
Y'all, my personal Reddit account is just like super embarrassing.
No, mine too. I can't even. Have you ever posted?
Yeah.
Oh, you posted?
Yeah, my Reddit account is very
embarrassing. That's crazy. Yeah. Whoa. We should read one of yours.
Oh, I've never posted like that. I've never posted asking for advice.
Okay.
Okay. I'm in like random like spider identification.
Oh my god. Stop. I can't with you.
You know, like, what is this bird?
Okay.
Yeah.
I got it. Say less. Really, say less. No, I'm kidding. I love that. I love like your yeah.
She can't even say we don't need to about me.
We just don't need to read it.
Okay, yeah, no, we don't. That's good. Anyway. All
right, well, so the video cut out.
Yeah, the camera battery died, but I think the audio is still good, so we'll keep it rolling.
Yeah, we're gonna keep going. There's one last thing that I want to read.
Okay.
Because it just made my day when I read it. My friend sent this to me. It's a Facebook post. Okay. I left the toilet seat up yesterday, and at 2 a.m. this morning, it finally happened. To all the women in my life, past and present, I apologize. Especially my grandma. I get it now. Hashtag my knees hit my chest. Hashtag folded like a lawn chair. Hashtag scariest moment of 2016. Hashtag I knocked everything off the counter on my way down. Hashtag all my life I had to fight. Hashtag so cold. Hashtag for some reason I yelled, "Who's in here?" as I was falling. Hashtag I thought I was being attacked. Hashtag I was still sleeping. Hashtag survivor.
I love the hashtags.
I was dying at the
folded like a lawn chair.
Dude, folded the lawn chair, but also like for some reason I yelled, "Who is in here?" as I was falling. Just imagine that. He's like folding in. Who's in here?
Yo, he's little. He like went all the way in. Sorry. I know I wouldn't go all the way in.
Stop.
I wouldn't fit.
Stop.
Not folded like a lawn chair.
Knees hit my chest.
Yeah, he's little. Or it's a really big toilet. He went.
He went in.
He went for a bath.
Oh my god.
He took a swim in the well.
So cold.
That's so funny. Poor guy. No, poor grandma, actually. No, fuck this guy. Fuck this guy. He did that to his grandma. See, this is why men...
Yeah.
They don't believe it's a problem until it happens to them.
I know. It's such an issue. Like, if we're telling you, put the seat down, because we're literally going to fall in, or
Grandma
it's, like,
had
disgusting.
to break her hip and nothing.
And nothing. But you had to experience
and then he's blaming other people. Who's in here? Who's in here? This guy. Wow. Terrible.
I'm dead. At least, he's like one of those Redditors that you described earlier.
Yes.
The ones that admit they're wrong.
Yeah. Oh, that's so funny. Thank you for sharing that.
You're so welcome. I can see the tears in your eyes.
Yeah, no, it was really good. Yeah. Also, speaking of toilets, though, I have a question. I wonder.
Yeah.
Men out there listening, I don't know how many of our listeners are men. I'm going to say not many, but...
Well, we don't know.
Do we know on YouTube? Depends on the analytics. But anyway, I don't know how many men are listening, but for those who are, why put the seat up at all?
Well,
because you can aim. I mean, we're talking about a difference of like 2-3 inches that the seat adds.
Okay, no, first of all, I think men should sit.
Or they could sit. I mean,
yeah,
period.
Just sit. We do it. You can do it too. Whatever.
I've heard that.
Okay. Listen.
Yes.
Listen. You know those blue light detectors?
Yes.
In every bathroom that those blue light detectors go around.
Yeah.
There's pee sprinkles everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere around the toilet. Because even if a man aims into the toilet, it splashes out.
But I don't think that has anything to do with ability. I think that has to do with lack of care. And maybe if they were sitting on the toilet more regularly, then they would care more.
No, I mean, I feel like even when someone aims, like if they're standing up and they're aiming, it splashes out.
They weren't aiming at the seat. But
no,
girls,
no, like just don't stand up and pee because that stuff gets everywhere. Sit down.
That like it's extremely uncomfortable.
Whatever.
To sit and pee because which I can see because it's gonna touch the seat.
It's not gonna touch it.
I think it would touch it.
Actually.
I'm like, not me shifting my position to imagine.
You really think so?
I'm gonna Google this.
Yeah.
Please hold.
Pause.
Is that copyrighted?
I feel like it's just another excuse men use so they can take the easy way out.
Why do men sit and pee? Or no, why don't men sit and pee? My bad. All right, this is on r/.
Oh God.
This is coming from r/askmen, and it was posted 11 years ago. Dugong of Justice asks, why don't guys just pee sitting down? So yeah, apparently this is a question that people have had.
Uh-huh.
So something that they say here, they say, presumably this happens while you're pooping anyway. You pee a bit at the same time, right? So presumably it's physically possible for you to pee sitting down. So why not just save all the toilet touching and just sit down and enjoy a pee without aiming or sputtering or touching dirty toilet seats? Yeah, that's true, because every time you lift the seat, you have to touch it with your hands, which I feel like is worse.
Right.
Okay, let's see here. So one guy says, I do sometimes, especially if I'm half asleep. I think mainly it's just quicker to stand up.
Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about. They just take the easy way out.
Standing up is way faster. You barely have to pull your pants down.
Exactly.
No cold or dirty seats.
Oh my God.
Really? That's it? No dirty. Well, maybe it wouldn't be as dirty
if you weren't standing up and peeing all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying.
My list is, I find it fun to pee standing up. I never have to worry about a cold seat. And if it's my house, I can do what I want. The only time I pee sitting down is if I'm a guest at someone's home.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair. Do whatever you want in your own home. But if you're living with other people, especially living with other women, sit down.
Yeah, okay. Wait, so this is like way less of a big deal than I thought it was.
That's
There's
what
nothing
I'm
like
saying.
anatomically preventing this.
No.
It's just I don't have to pull my pants down.
Exactly.
Me.
Exactly. Like,
Bro, also, if the pee is splattering as much as you're saying it is,
it
I
is.
don't want to see what your pants are like with a blue light.
Ew.
Yeah. I mean, you don't even pull them down.
Oh my God, you're so right. I didn't need to visualize that right now.
Well, now you did, and so did everyone else. No, but like your pants must be nasty.
Ew.
Yeah.
That's ew. Just sit down.
Yeah. Okay. So
Oh my
PSA, just don't lift the seat up. You never have to fold like a lawn chair on accident. You never make the women in your life fall in, right? The worst. And you won't get your pants all nasty.
Yeah.
Just sit down.
Just
Take a
sit
second.
down. Everyone wins.
Yeah.
Okay.
Period. Wow, I'm going to have a serious conversation with my brother after this.
Mm-hmm.
You know how many times, I guess we don't live in the same house anymore, but you know how many times I have gone to the bathroom after him in the middle of the night and literally, again, I wouldn't fall all the way in. Like, that's not how my body works. But like,
yeah.
I've definitely touched the water.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, it's been hit in a certain place, you know?
Oh my God.
Yeah, I've definitely. That's never happened to you?
No, never.
Is your brother courteous?
No, he's not. Never.
You're like that guy?
He's please don't even. There's a reason we have separate bathrooms. But when we only had one bathroom, I mean, I knew he always left the seat up, so I would automatically like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How rude. I did see someone argue once of like, oh, women are always like, oh, why do you always leave the seat up? Well, like, why do you always leave it down?
Okay, let's think about this for a second,
Yeah.
right? Every single human being needs that seat down at some point because we all poop.
We all use it down. Only half of us use it up.
Exactly.
It's just basic math.
It's basic logic.
Yeah.
And also, like, why do you need to do that to everything? Just try to understand a woman's perspective and like
you realize
say, okay,
they'll die if they don't play devil's advocate though.
Right.
Like they'll actually combust.
Yeah, they will.
Fold like a lawn chair, knees on the chest. It's over. It's over. Dude, I just got such bad deja vu.
About what?
I don't know. I just said fold like a lawn chair and I was like, I've been here before.
Oh, that's creepy. No, don't do this to me. It's too late for this. Please.
Oh gosh. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. That
You're welcome.
really gave me a new perspective on men and toilets and why they're so lazy.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that this guy had a formative experience. Now he's a changed man.
He needed that.
Yeah.
He needed that.
That's good. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, everyone. Well, on that note, I think we'll leave you. Make sure to check out our Love is Blind episode if you haven't checked it out yet. And we are off to go film that right now. So again, we're playing with the tenses here. Do we want to tuck them in?
Yeah.
All right.
Sleep tight and don't let the bed bugs bite.
Don't let the bed bugs bite. And if you're going to the bathroom in the middle of the night tonight, make sure you check that the seat is down. Don't fall in.
Please.
You got this. I believe in you.
We don't want the so colds hashtags.
No, not today. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye.